Here with Nashville Severe Weather. We're back for another round of severe weather coverage here. We have a severe thunderstorm warning that's just barely clipping northwest Davidson County, and this is for a storm that is technically moving into Robertson and is probably moving away from that corner of Davidson as time goes on, but it's going to be close. It's a severe thunderstorm warning, and it is for hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and quarter-size hail. Now, saying that being said, back to the west, we have a gnarly group of storms coming in. Hang on, let me close my door. Gnarly line of storms coming in, and really it's not as much a line as it is a messy conglomeration of supercells. Okay, so we've had supercells that got going back to our west, and they were pretty wound up there for a while. Had some tornado warnings on them, had some severe thunderstorm warnings down here back to the west for tennis ball size hail. And so, we have some nasty storms to our west. So we wanted to come on and just be on for a while. We're going to maybe ride this out here on YouTube from now on until this line gets through. We'll just have to see. But for the time being, we want to be on here. So here we are. So we got all of us here. There's Graham and David and Elin and Will. We got the whole crew here ready to go, and we're watching these storms, especially back to the west. But again, the reason we came on here initially, we've got this in the northwestern corner of Davidson County. There is a severe thunderstorm warning for this little supercell here that's developed out ahead of the others that is almost all the way into Robertson County now, but it could have some quarter-size hail, maybe just a little bit larger with that. We've had a history of large hail today. We've gotten a lot of pictures of hail that is really big for our area. We typically don't see really much bigger overquarters in a lot of our storms. We've seen a lot of golf balls even larger today. So no doubt that supercells like this over Greenbrier and Coopertown and just northwest of Joelton, as you go out I-24, very close to the area that had that tornado report here a little bit earlier, that could be getting some hail again in that little supercell. Oh, yeah. In fact, there's a very textbook hail signature there in correlation coefficient there on radar. And so definitely I would say hail falling in there, probably quarter size between Coopertown, Joelton, heading up into Robertson County towards Springfield. But again, let's go back to the west here and kind of zoom out. And you see a lot of polygons. We're down to one tornado warning, but it's southwest of us, so it's upstream of us. And so we need to keep an eye on this one. The supercell directly north of it has weakened considerably in the past half hour or so there in Hickman County. It is no longer warned, no longer has a warning with it, but the one down to the south here around Hohenwald there in Lewis County, this thing is a beast and could be dropping. Radar indicates 3-inch hail. Not sure about that, but let's just say that it has the possibility of some very large hail. The Weather Service is advertising 2-inch hail in that storm, which is, if I recall, tennis balls. So tennis balls are not good at all, and that's going right through Hohenwald right now there in Lewis County. So that's headed to the northeast, and we will see what comes out of that. I believe... Did we just get, I believe there's a new tornado warning that has come out for, yep, there it is right there. All right, new tornado warning polygon for that storm that's in Lewis County right now. And in fact, there's estimates of golf ball size hail there in Hohenwald. Moving to the northeast. So new tornado warning down for Murray County. Again, this is still upstream of us. So it still has yet to come through here, and this map will clear up a little bit here in the next couple of minutes here as some of these polygons expire and go away, and we should be left with one tornado warning. Let's see how it looks now. There we go. So there's one tornado warning polygon there. Sort of highlights where the storm is, and if we put a storm track on that, we can see that it looks like it'll be right around Thompson Station at about 5:30. So this looks to impact mostly the southeastern sides of Williamson County. and possibly southeastern Davidson County. But I would say that's more of a stretch, probably more southeastern Williamson County. So here's some times of arrival for you. As you can see, I know it's a long list. Bethesda, 5:45. Williamson County Fairgrounds, 5:47. Arno, 5:51. Triune, about 6 o'clock. Nolensville, about 6:02. Cane Ridge, there in southeastern Davidson County. If it goes that far north, it'd be about 6:07. So there's some of your times of arrival there on that storm. Currently down in Hohenwald, dropping confirmed golf ball size hail at least, and wouldn't be surprised if it is larger than that in some parts of Hohenwald down there right now. Okay, let's go back up and look at the cells to the north. And you can see mostly severe thunderstorm warning polygons up here. And this is one of them here that is sort of aimed toward Ashland City and northern Davidson County. And that is for 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail. We have this other warning up here for this storm that has now moved into Robertson County for the same thing, 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail. That one is no longer a Davidson County issue. That's moving northeast. And so I imagine that warning will be trimmed up here in a little bit. So those are basically our storms that we're watching for. This severe thunderstorm here that is currently over coming into Dixon County and will be pushing east, that will predominantly impact northern Davidson County as it moves east. As we move down to the south, there's this unwarned portion of the storm there in central Hickman County. That's going to be moving north or northeast, east-northeast. That will impact most areas of southern Davidson County and most of Williamson County. So places like Franklin, Brentwood, Fairview, Creve Hall, Oak Hill, Forest Hills, you're looking to get this little area here. Now, if it energizes again and it reforms, heads up. Just because it's unwarned right now doesn't mean that it could not get its act together again. And then for this part here, we're looking at a tornado warning down in Lewis County. That's going to be coming into Murray County here in just a little bit, especially areas just north of Columbia, west of Spring Hill. I have family down that way. You know who you are. You guys need to heads up on this one. It's headed your direction, sort of center line north of Columbia and over towards Spring Hill, Thompson Station. And that's this cell down here that's currently in Lewis County that's headed to the northeast. Tornado warning on that storm and possibly 2-inch hail. And that's no good either. All right, so either way you cut it, Murray County could be looking at golf ball size hail and potentially a tornado in there as well. Let's go look at velocities here and just see what we're looking at upstream from us here in Williamson County and just see what we're looking at down here to the far southwest side of this storm. And again, we're down here south of Hohenwald, and you can see this area of rotation. So winds going toward the radar, sort of a weakness in the velocities there, and so you sort of have your circulation there. That's what this warning is for. And as this moves to the northeast, this would be your area of rotation. It's currently just southeast of Hohenwald. There's a lot of barking going on there. All right. Let's back out a little more. Okay, so those of you watching from Williamson County, let's talk about some locations here just to give you an idea of where this is. You can see down to the southwest is that tornado warning, and then up here you see Williamson County. So you see Boston, Craigfield, Spring Hill. That's sort of very close to the county line. That's where you get into Williamson County. So areas like Spring Hill, Keystone, Page High School, the I-65-840 split, Eagleville, College Grove, Triune, Arrington, Nolensville, the 31A, 41A split. Heads up on this, okay? This is, we're looking at the potential for long track supercells today that could track a long way. So it may not be just sort of a one and done. It spins up a little tornado down here and then it's done. These could be long track supercells today that you don't want to mess with. We haven't seen these in quite some time. Okay, this is sort of a classic spring, May severe weather outbreak that we haven't seen this in a while. So we want to definitely pay attention to this as it comes through. Okay, so that's down there for Williamson County. let's go back up and talk about Davidson some more. We've got this severe thunderstorm warning has now been lifted for northwestern Davidson County that brought us on here a few minutes ago. We expected that. That storm is now completely inside of Robertson and Sumner, so that's not an issue anymore. But now we have a tornado warning off to the west, another tornado warning, and that is for Dixon, Montgomery, Houston counties. That is also aimed at Davidson County if it continues on its current track. Okay, and that would bring it over there to, it's not moving very fast, but as it moves east, we're going to have to watch that for sure. Let's look at velocities on there. Whoop. Yeah, seeing a little bit of rotation there. Okay. The good thing here is that this section of the storm right here north of the tornado warning that will most likely impact our metro area, so Nashville, most of areas south of I-40, a good portion of Williamson County. This is looking a little less organized, a little more messy, but it still has pockets of pretty strong convection, probably some small hail in there, and maybe some gusty winds. So you see the tornado warning disappeared on that cell, and that's good. We want to see this sort of messy disorganization here. That's a good thing as this comes riding into town. What we don't want to see necessarily are storms like this that have a beast of a hail core in them. And that's a very strong storm there. Has some rotation there in the low levels. So there's your rotation right there. And that continues very slowly, moving to the northeast. And so this is the storm of most concern right now for Williamson County. This one up here, I would say, is the one of most concern for Davidson County.
NROT close to 7.7-ish under that hail core.
Yeah, so he's referring to here a rotation index that some of our software uses, and it's indicating some rotation there. It's not incredibly compelling, as in it's not really tight at the surface or at the lowest radar scan, which here is at like 6,000 feet. So we're looking pretty high up off the ground. The rotation there is not incredibly tight. It's very broad at the moment. At least 6,000 feet up. So hopefully that continues. There have been moments where it's been tighter for sure. Impressive hail core now on this storm up here in Greenbrier. That's the one that was in Davidson County just a little bit ago. Very impressive hail core now on that one. That could be producing very large hail. Once again, Robertson County has just taken on the chin today, and this could be very damaging large hail going through Greenbrier. Once again, still seeing a very defined hail signature there between Greenbrier and Springfield along Springfield Highway, and that's moving off to the northeast there. Going to be crossing Highway 76 that goes over toward the interstate from Springfield. But that's you don't want that coming through your neighborhood at all. That's a mess. So that cell appears to be strengthening rapidly. And in fact, it could get a little rotation with it as it moves further to the northeast. And they don't need any more tornadoes in Robertson County today. They've already been there. Okay, well, so here we are. It's 4:54 in the afternoon on May the 8th. And David's over on X covering it here, covering it over on X. Will has taken your reports, and one of the best ways, and this has been proven over and over and over again, and even today, is that one of the best ways to get reports to the National Weather Service is to use hashtag TSpotter on Twitter, and that gets the report to us. We send that over to them. They're often watching that feed anyway, but we get that report over to them as well. And this is a great example. Today is a great example of the beauty of how reports work. And they've been able to make some really big decisions today based on your reports. Even so far, we're getting pictures out of Montgomery County of very large hail, 2 to 3 inch hail, and getting some other pictures as well. So Weather Service says now likely up there in Robertson County, that storm that was in Davidson a minute ago, now likely producing at least golf ball size hail there in Greenbrier now. Been a while since we've had hailstorms like this, guys. Between a couple days ago and down in Williamson County, and I mean, it's been a hot minute since we've had hailstorms like this.
No kidding.
I just want to make it clear, there are no tornado warnings for us currently. So the stuff that we've been putting out on Twitter is essentially trying to extrapolate if the storm goes at the same speed and is still producing, what time they would get here. But everybody's going to get a huge downpour and cloud to ground lightning strikes. And our atmosphere is rotating everything. Every storm that goes up is rotating. But that doesn't necessarily mean tornado. But if these could produce tornado at any moment. So we're just monitoring them. I am encouraged that the supercells we were seeing before are starting to kind of collide with each other and merge into kind of just a big old thunderstorm complex, which would reduce kind of the likelihood of what we were really worried about, which would be like an independent supercell coming through like we see in Oklahoma and Kansas over the last couple of days. These storms did look like that previously, about a half hour ago, but now they're sort of congealing into like a big thunderstorm complex that could still produce tornado, but isn't as concerning as it was a half hour ago. So I do feel good about that. My anxiety level right now is pretty low. I don't see any huge threat at the moment that's locally for us. But then again, we're over here in Nashville and in Williamson counties. We're not to the west where they are under 2 separate tornado warnings. So we're just monitoring that very closely as it comes here. But what I don't want to do is tell everybody, oh gosh, there's a tornado coming, because somebody put an ETA that it would be at your place at like 5:45. There's a bunch of assumptions built in there. But for sure, if you got a ball game, it's rained out. Like, don't even, you're not going to get it in. So that's all I'll say about that. I'm going to continue to eat my dinner.
Yeah, thanks, David. That's exactly right. Yeah, currently, I mean, at the moment, we have no warnings in effect except for a flash flood warning for far northern Davidson County. We have no tornado or severe thunderstorm warnings for either of our 2 counties. So that's good to it's good to see. But we're sort of surrounded here to the north and to the west and to the southwest by storms that really mean business. And so we want to, let's see, I'm going to try to get that over here. Yeah, here's some video from Clarksville. Is that right, Will?
Yeah, so this is near downtown Clarksville, near golf ball size hail. It looks like falling on this deck and into the pool. You see the splashes. This is courtesy of Laura Barnett in Clarksville. So this is what Montgomery County dealt with earlier today. So obviously, dynamics in place to produce large hail in our area.
Yeah, thanks, Will. Yeah, down there to the southwest, where down there moving into Murray County now, storm maybe has lost just a little bit of its punch as far as the hail sizes go. It's still rotating aloft and still rotating near the surface, but we're just going to have to kind of see how that evolves as we go on here, but that is starting to enter Murray County now, and we'll see how it does downstream. So generally, it's moving toward Williamson County. We don't know exactly where yet the hail or potential rotation will impact, but if we had to guess, it would be the southeastern half of Williamson County, and that includes areas like Spring Hill, College Grove, Bethesda, Page High School, Arrington, Triune, even as far north as Nolensville. And it's possible that maybe the rotation goes more on the southern sides of Williamson County, but maybe the large hail goes on the northern sides of Williamson County. So there likely will be varying degrees of impact.
Hey, Andrew, can we steer the conversation towards hydro a little bit, towards hydrology?
Sure.
I know that we've got a flood watch for parts of Williamson County. We have a flood advisory in Davidson. And I think before things spin up, before we get warned, might be a good time to talk about preparing for flash flood.
Yeah. So the issue we've had today is that some people have gotten a lot of rain, some people have not. So mostly folks north of 40 have had a lot of rain, and they've had several inches of rain. And so the creeks are already, if they're not overflowing, they're very, very full. So if you're inside I think you're right, Will, if you're inside the flash flood warning up here in northern Davidson County especially, I would just expect that these storms are going to produce flash flooding imminently, because they're putting down a lot of water in a really big hurry. And so we could have very dangerous situations just as far as the water goes up there. Now, further south, at my house, we've not had any rain today at my house. And so the ground is going to be able to handle a fair bit more of water than up north of 40, and especially up in like the Goodlettsville, Millersville, Springfield, Ridgetop areas, than we can have down here at my house. We can have a fair bit of rain down here and not have creek problems. But this may cause issues where you are if it comes down really fast and really heavy. So be very careful driving out there for sure, especially driving as you commute home.
Absolutely. And some of these smaller creeks can really flip-flop between, some of these creeks are flip-floppers, right? They can go between, looking fairly normal to all of a sudden being at action stage pretty quickly. There are some great resources for that on our website. If you're curious about creeks and streams in Davidson and Williamson County, you can see stream gauges on there. I'm going to just double check that they're working correctly, actually, now that I've said that out loud.
Yeah, they were working earlier today, Will.
Okay, good. And listen, this is one of the things that David and Andrew really advocated for on the website, was making sure that we have river and creek flood stage graphs. So if you live near a low-lying area, I would start paying attention to what gauges are around you, and make sure you've got a plan to get to higher ground.
Yeah, and I've got to say we can't advertise those without saying that some of those gauges, they're pretty old, and those things sometimes only report every like 30 minutes to an hour. And sometimes today I was trying to get data for Dry Creek up in Edenwald, and that sucker was running an hour behind on data. That's a lot of time when you're trying to make decisions based on a creek like this. So the gauges are great. Take them with a grain of salt. Be sure that you understand that what you're seeing on your local creek or river may not be reflected on that gauge for an hour, but they are a great resource to have there, especially on the larger rivers that take longer to come up and down. That's where they really shine. Yeah, well, hydro seems like one of those things that can get out of hand and us not really realize it right off the bat. So, and that's one of those things that's important to report too, Will. I mean that's I guess that's why the reports are all the more valuable, right?
Absolutely. So reports using hashtag T-Spotter on Instagram and on Twitter really do help us get information to the Weather Service, like Andrew said, so they can make decisions about what's going on, upstream from the storm. A couple things I want to point out. There are more people killed by moving floodwater than almost any other weather event, or it may be the single biggest killer in a weather event is flood. So turn around, don't drown, right? If you do see flooded intersections, and just wait it out, it will go down pretty quickly, or find another way to get around. Having, your little Subaru Forester flooded out because you thought you can get through is not the way to start your weekend.
That was a veiled shot at one of my unfortunate family members who befell the end of a Forester by ironically not listening to a family member about driving through floodwaters. End of rant.
That was good. Well done.
Get it way back.
Hey, I'm watching this tornado warning up here in Robertson County. Also, ironically, very, very close to the previous tornado they had up there. This thing looks like it may be wrapping up a little bit, and it's not. I'm not entirely convinced that it might not come really close to Davidson County. So let me say this. This right here is a ball of very strong wind coming down I-24. And if you live up in the Coopertown Road area, Baxter Road, they're north of 24. So in Joelton on the other side of 24, Coopertown Road, Baxter Road, Ivy Point, Greer Road, Bakers, Ridgetop, Luton's. Y'all heads up. I'm not sure the circulation would get that far south, but some wraparound rear flank downdraft winds might get there and could be pretty strong. So heads up for that. This is the circulation here, and the circulation will likely stay north of Davidson County. That's right where the circulation is right there. But on the south side of that, there's what we call a rear flank downdraft, and it's pushing pretty hard to the east, and probably some 55, 60 mile per hour winds in there. That could be.
I think that could get into Bakers, Andrew.
Yeah, I do too. I think those parts of northern Davidson County, Bakers, Luton's. So if it's just zoom down in there, you can see what roads we got. Let's see, Ivy Point, Greer Road, Freeman Holler Road, Baker Road, Old Springfield Pike, Springfield Highway that runs up there. You got Baker's Market there, right around as you go up the ridge, right before you go up the ridge there into Ridgetop. So everybody there between Goulitsville and Ridgetop inside Davidson County, heads up on this as the circulation moves to the east. This is a pretty healthy supercell up there. And even if the circulation doesn't come down as far south as Davidson County, the rear flank downdraft might, and that's about a 55, 60 mile per hour wind that could be pretty gusty. All right, so heads up on that. We might see, could be a severe thunderstorm warning come out on that. A little bit further south than the tornado warning. We'll have to see. But Davidson County currently not included in that tornado warning or severe thunderstorm warning up that way. Let's go back to the south here. Check on our storm and entering Murray County. Tornado warning there expires in about 6 minutes, and
Andrew, I've been studying that storm.
Yeah, go for it.
If there's tornado in there, it's brief. I mean, it's in the right spot. There's not been any debris signature or anything on that one. Okay. And frankly, this radar presentation, I would have taken this 10 times out of 10 if you'd have told me at 5:08 it would look like this at about a half hour ago.
Oh yeah.
This is a fantastic development.
Yes.
And we just need to keep that circulation down in Murray County from wrapping up. I don't know what they're going to do with that warning. I mean, I definitely would have tornado warning it, but it's moving pretty slow, and the rest of it's starting to phase out. So crossing fingers on that one. But again, still no tornado warnings for Nashville right now. None for Williamson County either.
Yeah, the storms back to the west of Nashville are much more disorganized than they were as far as supercells go an hour ago, and that is great news. We were having some difficult conversations just internally, just making sure that we have our ducks in a row in case we get supercells through here. And like David said, we'll take this radar presentation here over what we had an hour ago. So I'm feeling better about this at the moment. So David, thanks for that update. Keep watching that cell down there, and if you see something in there, jump in. It's still, like you say, could be brief, but there's a circulation there. Just have to keep an eye on that. It's in the right spot. Okay, so coming into Davidson County now is sort of a mess of storms. And let's go over to velocities and look at what we see there. That is not what I was going for. And that's not either. I'll get back to that. Let this new radar suite coming through. And, seeing some gusty winds in there. We'll see if they let this, reissue this warning. This severe thunderstorm warning here in Dixon County and Cheatham County expires in 3 minutes. So we'll see if they keep that going. There actually is a little bit of a circulation trying to get going there in far western Cheatham County. It's not.
Andrew, there's a report of a funnel cloud near Coopertown, which is that northern storm that's tornado warned.
Yeah, that's exactly in the right spot. So Coopertown up here, funnel cloud in Coopertown. I'm sorry, did somebody say something? Oh, I think I was just hearing echo.
Sounds like an echo or feedback, yeah.
Yeah, if you're not talking, if you could mute, that'd be really helpful. We got a lot of people on here. So yeah, funnel cloud report up there in Coopertown. That's just over the county line from Davidson County. And that is right there in that circulation where the tornado warning is right now. All right. Let me check a different radar source just to make sure that all my stuff here is in the right place. I always like to check 2 different pieces of radar software just to make sure everything's lining up right. It appears that it is. Okay. Yeah, that circulation up there in southern Robertson County could get its act together a little more.
So, Andrew, they've extended the tornado warning that was down in Murray County near Mount Pleasant.
Yes.
And they pushed it all the way up to the southern border between Spring Hill and Williamson County. So they've intentionally not warned Williamson County at this time. But it looks like the NROT has spiked on it a little bit, which indicates that the rotation at the ground and aloft is a line, which would suggest tornado. The surface looks tornado. I don't see any debris on it yet, and hopefully we won't. But if you're in Spring Hill, Boston, along 840 in Williamson County, you need to be near a sturdy structure. Certainly, you don't need to be on the road. In case this thing continues on and makes its way up into southern Williamson County.
Yeah, velocity, unfortunately, is getting a little bit more organized down here, right around Mount Pleasant, Hampshire, southwest of Columbia, southwestern Murray County. So heads up, Williamson County, keep an eye on this one. We are not under the warning right now. But it's upstream from us, so we need to keep an eye on it right there around Mount Pleasant, Hampshire, southwest of Columbia. So everybody in northern Murray County, keep an eye on this. That's going to be State Route 246. That's, What's the name of that exit? I'm sure everybody knows but me. Is that,
What are you talking about? The
State Route 46. It goes from
Carter's Creek.
Carter's Creek. That's it. Carter's Creek Pike. That's Carter's Creek. So north of Columbia, you got Carter's Creek. That's kind of where this is headed, up there in the northern part of Murray County. All right, so yeah, velocity getting a little bit more organized down there. So we're going to watch that very, very carefully. Let's do some ETAs on that. All right, so if that circulation right there holds together, looks like we got a severe thunderstorm warning for Davidson County now. Go check that in just a second. Let's look at the that circulation. We're centered on the circulation here that seems to be getting a little stronger. And it looks like it'll be around Spring Hill 551, Bethesda 602, Williamson County Ag Center 606, Arno around 608, Rutherville 611, Eagleville 613, Arrington 615, Triune 618. All right, so heads up on this cell. We're talking about the potential for long track supercells today. So whatever it does down here in Murray County, don't count on the fact that it will fall apart before it gets to Williamson. This thing could hold together. And it's in the right spot here on the southern side of the whole storm complex, that it's got plenty of inflow, plenty of storm food there that it can hold together until it gets up through Williamson County, okay? So Williamson County, watch this carefully. Don't let it out of your sight as far as keeping up with it, and we'll be keeping up with it as well all the way in. Let's go back up here and look at this severe thunderstorm warning for Davidson County. This is brand new. This is until 6 p.m., and this includes areas like Joelton. It includes places like Beeman Park and Scottsboro, and it is for this cell back to the west here that is going to affect mostly the northern parts of Davidson County, and should be in Joelton here in just about 5:50, the worst of it. Davidson Academy School there about 6 o'clock. Same thing for Ridgetop and Bakers and Goodlettsville around that time as well. So that's for a severe thunderstorm warning. Now for that warning is for 1.5 inch size hail, so that's larger than quarters, and 60 mile per hour winds. Okay, so you got a hailer and maybe some wind coming through there in the east sides of Dixon County, coming into Cheatham County very shortly. That tornado warning continues up there in Robertson County. It's moving away from us. So that that circulation has come pretty close to us, but it's definitely moving away from us there.
Andrew, does the one you're looking at now near Mount Pleasant, the rotation is strengthened a little bit more? Doesn't look like a classic, big tornado, but certainly needs to be warned. I still don't see any debris on it. The other thing I'm looking at is that severe warning storm that you were just on in Ashland City, just kind of looking at that, the rear flank on it, that's east of Charlotte. That's another area that I've been looking at very closely, because if that were to do anything, we'd be looking at Nashville Metro.
That's right.
For that warning. So those are the two things I'm looking at right now.
Yes. So right here on this cell, if this wraps up here on the southern side of the severe thunderstorm warning east of Charlotte, like he's talking about, this would be the right spot where we could see some rotation develop in there. We don't see it yet, and the Weather Service hasn't indicated that it's there, but we're going to watch for that as it moves east, because it's sort of headed our way. So we're going to keep an eye on that as well. So that's for that severe thunderstorm warning up there that is affecting the northwestern quadrant of Davidson County. That's so if you live in Joelton, if you live in Goodlettsville, Ridgetop, Luton's, Bakers, Freeman Hollow, Ivy Point areas, all the way down to even, I would say, all the way to even down to the 65-24 split, maybe even the north sides of downtown. We just need to keep an eye on that. Don't let it out of your sight, as we've been saying. Just keep watching it, and we will hopefully know here soon what to expect with it. All right, this cell back down to the south is still rotating. There's your rotation right there. And let's see here. So there's your wind going toward the radar, and there's your wind going away. All right, and that's getting pretty tight now. See right there how it's getting pretty tight? It's what we call gate-to-gate shear. All right, that's getting pretty tight. So if you're in Columbia, anywhere around Columbia, in Murray County, especially up on the even the northern sides of Murray County, if you're in Thompson Station or Spring Hill, hey, keep an eye on this. You're not under a warning yet, under a tornado warning yet, but keep an eye on it because that may change in a hurry. All right, that rotation's looking a little bit more impressive now. David, can you talk for about 30 seconds? I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. So I'm sitting here wearing my Vols hat, and my daughter, who's a freshman there, asked, is Knoxville in a tornado watch? You know, they have finals going on. The answer is yes. So I'm having to text her. And if you're watching, hey, Knox, yes. Okay. So yeah, what Andrew was saying, if y'all see that red box that's down there near Columbia, the area of rotation there that's concerning is just north of Mount Pleasant. So if you've ever gone out to Pickwick and you've gone around Columbia and gone down that Highway 43, that's kind of where it is, and it's moving to the northeast. So that center of circulation should pass to the northeast of Columbia, assuming it goes in that direction. However, some of these storms do turn right. So if you're in Columbia in Murray County, you need to be in your safe space. And certainly if you're in Spring Hill or Bethesda or Thompson Station or Boston in southern Williamson County, you need to clean out and locate your safe space. And in the event this tornado warned storm has to be extended up into Williamson County. So there's that going on for everybody in Wilco. And then we have the severe thunderstorm warning that's in Ashland City right now. That's about to head into Nashville, and it should and the worst of it should go kind of north of Briley Parkway into Fontenelle and Jolton. And what this is going to do is create another flash flood event. There's already an existing flash flood warning for everybody from Madison to Skyline to Jolton, y'all, and north of there. So Ridgeview Estates, Baxter Road, Ivy Point, Rivergate, Goodlettsville. You guys are all in a flash flood warning, and you're only going to get a ton more rain, not only with this cell coming in now over the next 45 minutes or so, but you're also going to get a ton more rain late tonight when the main line comes through with damaging straight line winds, the biggest concern with that one, but also additional torrential rainfall. So if you're in a low-lying area, flooding is going to get worse overnight, y'all. It's especially true if you're in northern Davidson County, generally north of downtown. If you got a lot of rain overnight, there's just nowhere for that water to go. So it's just going to find the lowest level. Please, especially at night, do not drive across a water-covered road. Even just a little bit of water can sweep your car out.
Excuse me, David. New tornado warning for northern Davidson County now for the cell that we were talking about in southern Robertson County.
Okay.
And this tornado warning is going to come into Davidson County, all right? So areas like Bakers and Luton's and Ivy Point, Greer Road, places like that. This circulation is going to be way too close for comfort into Davidson County. So they've reissued the tornado warning here, and it's going to cover parts of Davidson County here, and we'll see that here in just a second pop up on the screen, and we'll know exactly where that polygon is going to be 4. So we're gonna, there it is right there. All right. So if you are in Ivy Point, if you are in Bakers, Luton's, anywhere up and down Springfield Pike, Baker Road, Freeman Hollow Road, Licton Pike, all those roads that kind of come out of Goodlettsville there on the north side, especially you guys, take cover now. So developing tornado possible there on in Robertson County, moving sort of to the southeast. And so that's exactly where this is. They've redrawn the tornado warning now, and as it comes into Davidson County, it's going to be close. It's going to be right in that very, very northern tip of Davidson County, and it looks to impact areas like Baker Road, Old Springfield Pike, Springfield Highway, Baker Station Road, Licton Pike, Ivy Point, Brick Church Pike, and then you get down into the roads there into Goodlettsville. So Tenon Road, all of you guys out there in the part of Davidson County up there where it gets really hilly, and if you live anywhere near, if you know where that Baker's Market is on there on Springfield Highway, right in front of the Luton's Methodist Church, all you guys right in there, this is sort of headed right for you, okay? So you need to take shelter. You need to be in the lowest level of your home. You need to be in an interior room, closet, or bathroom with as many walls between you and the outside as possible. If you have a basement, you need to be in the basement. You need to be below ground if you can. But if you can't be below ground, an interior room, closet, or bathroom in your home, mobile homes are not safe in tornadic winds. So mobile homes are not safe. You need to find a substantial shelter, and hopefully you've had that substantial shelter in mind already today before we have gotten a warning here. Let's get see about a new scan here coming in, possibly on velocities, and let's see. Let's go over to another radar here and go up there and see what the velocities are doing. Yeah, still about the same. All right, so here's Baker's, Freeman Hollow Road, and Luton's. So this circulation is it's veering to the south, and that's going to bring it to the west sides of Ridgetop and down into the northern parts of Davidson County. Let me go over to my other source here. All right, so let's talk again about roads. Ivy Point, Greer Road, Freeman Hollow Road, Baker Road, Happy Valley Road, Springfield Highway, Tenon Road. If you know where the probably the closest landmark a lot of people up here know is the Baker's Market, and that's right here at the corner of Old Springfield Highway and Springfield Highway. And if you're anywhere near that market, as you go up the ridge there between Goodlettsville and Greenbrier, that's right where this is. So I mean, this circulation is going to be pretty close to the county line up there, guys. It's not a slam dunk for Davidson County, but it's going to be right up there in that very tip top of the county, it looks like.
Yeah, it's going to clip kind of the mouse ears there at the top of Davidson County as it rolls through.
Yeah,
the winds on base velocity look pretty decent. It doesn't have, at least in reflectivity, kind of a classic shape. What do you make to that?
Well, as these storms sort of congeal, they still have a supercellular structure, but they get a little bit more messy as they sort of congeal. So they won't look as classic on reflectivity as they might when they're spread out, like they were earlier, where they had some space between them. Now that they're getting a little bit more congealed, they're still got some supercellular structure in there.
Yeah,
still got the rotation. But they won't look quite as comma shaped and hook shaped and all that stuff that we typically associate with supercells. All right, so let's talk about locations again. This tornado warning here for the northern Davidson County, and anybody inside this polygon is fair game here. And so, if you're Dry Creek, Union Hill area, you know where that if you're up there, you know that area. There's not that many roads up here, so you kind of know where that is. In particular, I would say that Baker Road, toward the end of Baker Road there, and Baker Road sort of dead ends, and it goes off to the right. There's some railroad tracks. There's a railroad crossing up there, Baker Station Road. The further you get down Baker Road up toward the county line, which ends kind of like at the Baker's Tunnel, where the CSX Railroad goes through the tunnel there, going up to Ridgetop. That's exactly where this is. So right there around that tunnel, where the CSX Railroad goes through the tunnel there, going to Ridgetop. That's right where the circulation is going. So it's I'm having trouble making out some of the real defining features in that rotation at the moment. I see a bulge here of wind going toward the radar. There's some going away. Hopefully this isn't on the ground. I don't see an indication yet, like confirming that it is. But that's no reason to, not pay attention to it. I'm not seeing a debris signature, so that's good. Hopefully it's not on the ground. But there does appear to be some rotation in there. And so that's worth noting for sure.
Andrew, I just want to update the southern cell.
Let's go look at it.
The center of circulation is about to go straight through Columbia. Columbia proper, coming right up of, let's see, what road is that?
It seems like it's turning right a bit.
Yeah, it's doing a right turn. It's going right up 243, going to go right through the middle of Columbia if that circulation holds together. This thing has been spinning in different parts of the storm, but this looks like this tornado warning for Columbia. If you're in Columbia and you're, for whatever reason, listening to this stream, you need to go ahead and get into shelter. What this means for Williamson County is it looks like this storm is turning right, which would put more of like the Bethesda, College Grove, Allisona, Cross Keys area in the way, and less of the Spring Hill area in the way of this supercell tornado warn. Yep.
But yeah, areas like Eagleville, Holt's Corner, College Grove, that whole bottom right corner of Williamson County.
Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on that for sure. The good news is, guys, I'm looking at from sort of between downtown and like 840. I'm encouraged by the storm structure that would be impacting those areas. So that's good. It doesn't look as particularly strong as it did earlier.
Andrew, new flash flood warning issued pretty much straight across I-40 and north, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, this new flash flood warning that has been issued is one that is I think, I can't remember, I'm pretty sure that it's going to ping cell phones. Let's see.
Considerable tag.
Yeah, there it is right there. So the hydrologist at the National Weather Service has issued this warning himself. He's the guy who really knows the structure of the creeks and the rivers and all that around here. So he has issued a flash flood warning here with what's called a considerable tag. And that basically means that everybody here from downtown, north of I-40, could really seriously have some flooding problems. And so let's read the text on this, because oftentimes that's the best way to read it. Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the warned area. Between 2 and 4 inches of rain have fallen in the last few hours. These storms can produce intense rainfall rates up to 4 inches per hour. Flash flooding is ongoing in some areas and can occur quickly in flash flood prone areas. Life-threatening flash flooding of creeks and streams, urban areas, highways, streets, and underpasses. Some affected creeks and streams include the South Fork Red River near Orlinda, Beaver Dam Creek, Sulphur Fork Creek near Springfield, Stroudville and Walnut Grove, Spring Creek near Barren Plains, and Kinney's, Buzzard Creek, including Cedar Hill. So those are a lot of areas that are up inside Robertson and Sumner counties, Robertson counties, I guess. And let me make sure I'm looking at the right one here. Okay, here's the other one. Let's see here. Here's the other one. Some locations that will experience flash flooding include Nashville, Hartsville, Madison, etc. Same list of creeks and streams there. So this is a considerable event flash flooding wise. And this rain that's coming through Cheatham County into Davidson County right now could be a very serious problem. All right, particularly up in areas like we were just talking about where the tornado warning is. There are a lot of creeks and streams that run directly alongside roads. All right, so if you look at a map up there, you see a lot of meandering roads, and I can see the maps on here, but you probably are not able to see that. But like if you zoom in on these roads up here, like Baker Road here, there's a creek that runs right alongside almost the entire length of Baker Road. Same with Old Springfield Pike. All right, same with Licton Pike. Licton Pike's the exact same way. All right, so when we get really bad rains like this, a lot of those roads will be impassable and, in fact, dangerous because the creeks will come over those roads. They've done it for as long as those roads have been there, right alongside the creeks. But they can be particularly dangerous when you're trying to get home during rush hour and you decide that you might want to go through that water to get home instead of waiting. So please don't do that. There could be some very serious flooding issues going on up in northern Davidson County. There's a lot of hills and hollows up here, and water moves very fast down those hills. We've seen this happen before, and it's water moves really fast down those hills and hollows and onto those roads. Okay, so that's where this is in northern Davidson County, basically north of I-40. But especially off here in the areas north of Scottsboro, Joelton, kind of along as you go up that Highland Rim on the northwestern and the northern parts of Davidson County where all those hills and hollows are alongside those creeks. All right, this could be bad news up there. Really bad news. So
Andrew,
be very, very
tornado
careful.
warning in northern Davidson County is being canceled.
Okay, great. All right, so that will go away. So that tornado warning will go away, and there it goes. And we still have quite a few polygons around. Let's go down here real quick and check out this tornado warning. David, have you been watching this cell in Murray County?
I have been, yes.
All right. Any?
No,
it
'cause
looks
I'm in
like
the
the
middle of a
circulation's
tweet.
broadened out a little bit.
Yeah, so I don't want to say it's cycling, but it's just a messy presentation.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's messy. It's a broad rotation. There is rotation there. It's not real tight. It's sort of broad rotation. So the hope is that this tornado warning will be allowed to expire, and the circulation won't be strong enough to warrant reissuing it. That's our hope. All right, let's go back to reflectivity here. Let's kind of go over our polygons because we've got quite a bit going on here. Especially in the northern part of the county.
Well, I got your message noted.
So the first polygon we have is a severe thunderstorm warning polygon that's for western Davidson County. The more recent one, though, and it's a warning for the exact same thing, so we might as well just blend them together. 60-mile-per-hour winds, an 1.5 inch diameter hail size that's larger than quarters. I believe that's ping pong ball size hail, 1.5 inches, and that's possible really from 440 to the north. So basically, the 440 loop and Percy Priest Lake to the north, ping pong ball size hail is possible there in that storm with 60-mile-per-hour winds. Let's look at the velocities again here. Yeah, there is some enhanced velocities here as far as strong winds go. We could be looking at areas of 40 to 50, 30, 40, 50 mile per hour winds as a part of that cell. So it could get breezy there in the Beeman Park, Joelton, Scottsboro area. But the big concern there appears to be hail. So yeah, big hail core with that thing, and I would say it's further east. But that's a big hail core with it.
Some landmarks near here, big landmarks, at least in Davidson County, that were in there. Rivergate Mall is in there. That whole Goodlettsville Vietnam veterans kind of corner off the interstate is included in that as well.
Yeah, I'm catching up on some chat stuff here.
Yeah, also not seeing any reports come out of Murray County. We do occasionally get some, even though we don't cover that. So no reports from Columbia, which is a good thing. And hopefully that broad rotation didn't at any point tighten up and get close to the ground. There are some values greater than 1 in the NROT there in Columbia. So, David, do you see that, a little bit of an NROT spike? Not that it's the end all be all, but
No, and by the way, that area, Murray County, often falsely spikes NROT. So you really,
yeah.
I mean, that's it right there. But we see that all the time. But when it turns yellow there with that structure, I mean, that definitely needs to be tornado warned, like 100% tornado warning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we see the false signatures on there, it doesn't quite have this structure that this one does here.
Yeah. The context clues are key there. I'm tweeting out these hail cores. I mean, the hail in Columbia and the hail coming into Scottsboro near Bells Bend is pretty big. I'm sending that tweet out.
Yeah, let's go down here, and I'll tell you what. First thing I'm going to do is check TBNA.
That's a good call.
That's messy. It's about the same. It's kind of messy. It's going to need. Let me look up a scan. Yeah, that's worth watching.
Yeah.
That is worth watching.
Yeah, I mean, that warning may need to be extended into Bethesda. It may even catch a big part of Spring Hill. If you look on the map there, Spring Hill is actually mostly to the east of where it says Spring Hill on the map. And that's where a lot of that new construction is, where like Duplex Road goes all the way over to the new Summit High School, up to Cherry Grove, and then across 65 over towards Bethesda. Y'all could look for hail out there for sure, assuming this thing holds together. But I definitely don't like the look of that structure down there.
There's a new tornado warning for Williamson County.
Yeah.
So new tornado warning now for southeastern Williamson County. Not surprising to us, but this is a tornado warning now for Williamson County, Thompson Station, Spring Hill, Bethesda, College Grove. That exact, if you can't tell, I'm in Williamson County. College Grove, Page High School, all the way up toward Triune. So new tornado warning now for southeastern Williamson County. And let's go over and talk about some locations here. So Arno, Page High School, Bethesda. Let's turn on our little road thingy here and let's look at some roads. So Bethesda, Arno, Owen Hill, Arno College Grove, Cross Keys, Comstock, Bird, all the way up toward Paytonsville Trinity, Lampkins Bridge, Trinity Road, Cox Road, all the way over to Triune. All right, so this is tornado warning for Williamson County, and this is a pretty classic appearance on radar of a storm that means business, and that right there means business.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
That could well be a tornado on the ground there east of Columbia. And that right there is a tornado signature. That's a tornado signature right there. All right, so probable tornado on the ground there east of Columbia, about to cross Highway 99. It's going to cross 99 right there. And so probable tornado on the ground there. Heads up, southeastern Williamson County. You guys need to be in your safe place. Go ahead and do it now. Don't wait on it. Just go ahead and do it now. Get it out of the way. Go ahead and be in your safe spot.
Andrew, I got a TDS on that storm.
Wow.
So confirmed tornado by radar here. That's going to be on. That's going to be there east. Yeah, east of Columbia. So the storm appears to be now confirmed according to radar. TDS. Oh, yeah, big TDS now. So debris being lofted now on this tornado. This tornado is crossing Highway 99 as we speak in Columbia. A lot of those people know where that is, east of Columbia, between Columbia and the interstate, Highway 99 there. So that's where this tornado is, and this tornado is going to be moving to the northeast. And so if you are northeast of this, if you're around I-65 in Murray County, you guys got to move fast because this thing's going to be on you quickly. If you are north of 99, then like the Highway 99 exit on I-65, y'all got to get into cover quickly. And I mean really quickly. This thing's on the ground doing damage east of Columbia in Murray County, and it's lofting debris. So tornado on the ground there east of Columbia. So our polygons turn purple here, meaning this is an observed tornado by weather spotters and by radar. Radar has confirmed this tornado. All right, so let's go look at it here. Oh yeah, that's a tornado signature for sure. There's your debris right there. There's your debris. And that's pushing off to the northeast. Classic hook signature here. If you're in Bethesda, lowest level of your home, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. You need to get shoes, get helmets on the kids, do whatever it is you need to do, and grab whatever it is you need to grab, and you need to get into shelter now in Bethesda, College Grove, all the way down toward Eagleville, Chapel Hill. If you're inside this purple polygon here, now's the time to do it. Don't wait on it. Don't wait to see it. Don't wait to hear it. Don't wait for any other confirmation on it. The tornado's on the ground, and we can tell you, we promise you this is on the ground, all right? There's your debris signature right there. There's a very decent velocity couplet there. So tornado is definitely on the ground, has crossed Highway 99 in east of Murray County and is moving toward Williamson County. All right, so Bethesda, you're just now starting to get some rain, but you guys in Bethesda, y'all need to take cover. All right, if you're along Bethesda Duplex Road, if you're around the Duplex area east of Spring Hill, if you're over all the way to Eagleville, College Grove, Holt's Corner, on Horton Highway, 31A, 41A split right there around the gas station and Bonnie's Barnyard and all that. Y'all got to get into cover. All right, this is a beautiful area of Williamson County. I was out there not long ago, and there's a lot of houses there.
Andrew, this tornado is going to cross over I-65 south of the Saturn Parkway interchange or close to the Saturn Parkway interchange. So if you're at all driving in that area, you do not need to be on the road in a vehicle. It's going to cross over I-65 here in a couple minutes, and then eventually it's going to push over toward 431 Lewisburg Pike. So if you're planning on driving between Thompson Station and the Columbia exit, you do not need to be on the road because if there's a confirmed tornado on the ground producing debris. So let's not be on I-65 right now. But
here's I-65 south of 840.
I-65 south of 840 for sure. Yeah.
All of these cars. There's a lot of commuters, and oftentimes this gets bogged up with traffic because of, everybody going towards Spring Hill after work and all that. This traffic's not moving fast, okay? So if you're on the interstate, hey, if you guys somehow can get to a shelter in one of the exits there around Saturn Parkway and all that, if you're headed south on the interstate, get off the interstate at Saturn Parkway before you get down in this thing, down into Murray County on I-65. Do not go into Murray County on I-65 because the last thing you want to do, this thing's getting stronger, guys.
Yeah, I would say if you're anywhere south of Franklin.
Anywhere south of Franklin on I-65, you need to get off the interstate. Off the interstate. Get off the interstate. Do not get under an overpass. Don't get under an overpass. That's a bad thing to do. Don't get under an overpass. But if you're on the interstate, if you're commuting and you're going south on 65 toward Murray County out of Williamson County, don't do it. Get off the interstate at Saturn Parkway or wherever you can on 840 and just drive west. If you're near 840, don't drive south into this down there on on I-65. All right, this tornado is getting stronger, and it's going through northeastern Murray County now, and there's definitely some neighborhoods in here, guys. This thing.
Okay,
This
I
thing's
think
a
it's going
strong
to miss
tornado.
Spring Hill proper, but only barely. So if you're at Spring Hill, don't trust the radar. Go ahead and get inside. Bethesda, Cross Keys, Lewisburg Pike over there, Allisona, Arno, College Grove. You guys need to be in the lowest level interior room right now. This is a confirmed tornado.
Yeah, I was just we have pictures of this coming in, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
working on it.
Okay, so this is from the
There's
Columbia
one.
Fire Station, Fire Station 3 in Columbia. All right, this is a big tornado, guys. This is a big tornado, and it has power. All right, this tornado has power, and it is now in northeastern Murray County. It's headed toward Bethesda, and just to the southeast of Bethesda. If you live on Comstock Road, if you live on Ash Hill Road, if you live on Glen Road, if you live on Cross Keys Road, if you live on Giles Hill, if you're in Eagleville, College Grove, Bethesda, or Flat Creek Road, Cross Keys, anywhere in there, College Grove, you guys need to, I'm telling you, you need to grab whatever it is you need to grab, and you need to either get below ground or you need to get in your interior room or closet or bathroom. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you possibly can. You've got to get shoes on. You got to get a helmet on the kids if you can. Please take every precaution you can to protect yourself as this tornado comes through. This is a strong tornado. This appears to be a strong tornado. The pictures look like it is a strong tornado coming through the northeast sides of the Columbia, getting ready to cross I-65, and we're going to watch that closely. I'm going to see if I can get it on a. Here's the traffic. This just makes me sick. People driving south on I-65, they're going to be driving right into it. But this is I-65 south of 840, mile marker 57. And this is exactly what you don't need to be doing, driving southeast or south on I-65 toward this tornado. All right, these guys are driving right toward this thing. All right, big tornado now, circulation here, about to cross I-65, just north of the Highway 99 exit. Just north of that's Bear Creek Pike, I believe, Highway 99, and it's going to cross the interstate just north of that exit. All right, again, heads up for you folks in Bethesda in southeastern Williamson County, Cross Creek, Comstock, College Grove, Triune. Again, we're talking about long-lived supercells today, and this could be a long-track tornado that is on the ground for a while. Okay, once it gets going, it might take it a while to weaken. All right, so we, let's see, we're watching this thing cross the interstate here in just a minute. Let me pull this over here.
Andrew, this tornado is strengthening.
It is strengthening. Guys, this thing has power. These are not, this does not look like those, low-end tornadoes we get around here. This looks like a tornado that has quite a bit of power with it, okay? And, we're looking at inbound winds here of 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
So these are inbound winds. Inbound winds of 100 miles an hour. This thing has quite a bit of power. All right, so don't be taking your time. Don't be taking your time if you're out ahead of this thing.
The debris has been lofted 21,000 feet up in the air. This is a strong, powerful tornado, and it should right now be over I-65. All right, so let's talk downstream.
Okay, here we go. They're moving. They're pointing the camera south now. TDOT's taking over the camera and they're pointing it south. So we may or may not be able to see anything here, but they've taken control of the camera now. But these people driving south, I mean,
I think this tornado is going to pass Lewisburg Pike after it goes over I-65. It's going to pass Lewisburg Pike over by Flat Creek Road, over by Tally Moore Road, over by Tobe Robertson Road. It's going to be over John Lee Johnson Road. That's the road that goes underneath I-65 from Lewisburg Pike. The tornado is going to be there in a few minutes. So if you live on, let's see, on Kedron Road as well, on the east side, so the other side of I-65 between it and Lewisburg Pike, this tornado is going to pass over it. It is a strong tornado lofting debris 20,000 feet up in the air.
We're getting pictures on Twitter of families that are in their safe spot with their families, and they are wearing helmets. This is what to do, guys. All right, this is why we say this. This is looks like we have a tornado emergency coming out for the tornado in Murray County. Tornado emergency now coming out for this is the highest level of tornado warning. Somebody just asked, when was the last time a tornado emergency was issued in Middle Tennessee? Who cares? This is so tornado emergency now coming for northeastern Murray County and for southeastern Williamson County.
So,
there it is right there.
Andrew, I can read from that tornado emergency, northern Murray County, southern Williamson County. This is a particularly dangerous situation. So a PDS tag on this tornado warning, spotter confirmed. Move into southeastern Williamson County as it crosses 65 right now. Interstate 65 between mile marker 43 and 60, 840 between 29 and 41. But like we said earlier, if you are south of 840, you are on I-65, you need to get off the interstate, find a sturdy structure to shelter in. Thunder and lightning ongoing in northern Davidson County. I see a lot of you on Twitter asking about that. Only one element has a residual severe thunderstorm warning there. Right now, all of our energy into a particularly life-threatening situation entering southeastern Williamson County.
Life-threatening situation in Williamson County for sure. And this tornado has now crossed I-65, and I pray that those people who were driving south on 65 did not drive directly into this thing. But the tornado has crossed I-65 now and is now pushing, still in Murray County, but not for long. If you're in Bethesda, if you are around Flat Creek, if you are on Flat Creek Road, Giles Hill Road, Cross Keys Road, and on up toward Arno Alisona Road, Eagleville College Grove, your time's going to be running out soon, guys, to be able to take shelter before this gets to you. So go ahead and get your helmet on, your shoes on, and this is, you need to get to that place in your home where you have determined it is safe. All right, you need to get into that interior room, closet, or bathroom. This is a debris signature here that is it's pretty wide for what we see in Middle Tennessee as far as debris signatures go, and this debris signature is significant. It's significant. This is a powerful tornado now moving through northern Murray County, northeastern Murray County, and it's headed for southeastern Williamson County, and I would say probably extreme southeastern Williamson County would be my best guess. But that's going to be from Cross Keys to Comstock Road, Cross Keys. I mentioned Choctaw Road. Again, if I've mentioned where you are, please, I especially beg you to get into your safe place. Put your helmet on. If you're in a mobile home, it's not safe. A mobile home is not safe in a tornado like this, any tornado, but especially like this. Please get to a safe place immediately. And this tornado is now lifting. It has crossed 99. It's crossed I-65 and will be in Williamson County here probably in the next 15 minutes. So tornado emergency now for Williamson County. Not something I was hoping I would say today, but here we are.
For all of you in Nashville, there's a thunderstorm warning, but we don't see anything nearly as concerning as what we see down approaching southeast Williamson County. But just to be clear, there is no tornado warning in Nashville. This tornado emergency is going to miss Franklin. It's going to go south of Franklin. It's going to go south of Brentwood. Fairview's not involved, but there is a severe thunderstorm warning in Nashville going from Percy Priest all the way up to Green Hill to Hendersonville. But we're going to continue to focus on this large, powerful, confirmed destructive tornado that's it's about to be rolling into southeast Williamson County.
Tornado
One of the
is
things that
made
I'm
just
oh,
tornado has made just a very slight eastward jog, just a little bit. And so it's not uncommon for these to make just a little bit of a right turn, just a little bit there. And that seems like what it might be doing there in northeastern Murray County. So I think probably the threat is from Bethesda down to the southeast as far as the actual tornado itself, but that's too detailed. We really shouldn't go there. You need to everybody in southeastern Williamson County, you're under a tornado emergency, and it looks like this tornado will impact right there around the areas where Marshall County, Murray County, and Williamson County come together, especially areas like Comstock Road, Glen Road, Cross Keys, those roads up there, Arno, Allisona, Giles Hill, Flat Creek again. So just some roads there. Edwards Grove. Please take cover. This thing looks mean.
And to follow up with what David said on the northern Williamson County question, one of the things I'm most concerned about in northern Williamson County is flooding, and especially flooding along the interstates. Seeing a number of reports come in about that. Not something that will draw focus away from this, except to say, turn around, don't drown. If you see flooding approaching structures, make sure you get us a report on T-Spotter. But most of our energy should go into this, as it's a much bigger hazard.
I'm going to go down here. Seeing on TDOT's website, I'm seeing extremely heavy traffic here.
Yep.
On right where the path of this tornado would have crossed. This is 99, and traffic has stopped there, and traffic is also stopped right there on 65. And that's
because there's damage there.
That's
that
right.
Tornado just ran across the interstate. You can't go anywhere.
That's right. And that's right. So let's see if the traffic cameras are showing anything. Really not. Traffic's still moving, heading south. Okay, let's go back. Let's back out just a little bit. Again, tornado emergency remains in effect for southeastern Williamson County, northeastern Murray County, and northern Marshall County. It even goes a little bit into Rutherford County. So Eagleville is included in the tornado emergency. This is the highest level of tornado warning that the National Weather Service issues. And this thing means business. They don't issue these lightly. They issue these when tornadoes are especially damaging and when they can be destructive to the population that is in front of the storm. And this is one of those cases. So looks like the debris has spread out a little bit.
It has.
Guys, I think this is turning right.
Yeah, I was going to say it's definitely taking a little bit of a right turn. So I would say particularly Flat Creek Road. They're in extreme southeastern Williamson County.
Holt's Corner right there, right outside the county.
Yeah, this thing is definitely, watching those last few frames, watch how it tornado just kind of makes a right turn there.
Jukes, yep.
So large hail coming into the southern sides of Bethesda now. Comstock Road getting large hail. So if you've taken cover here in southeastern Williamson County, we're not done yet. Don't come out yet. This thing still very much on the ground and still doing damage as far as we can tell. Still a very healthy debris signature there on radar. So definitely, this tornado has definitely been on the ground a little while now.
Andrew, one of
and
the things that we've
continues to be.
learned is that the radar doesn't necessarily know exactly where it is. Sometimes the tornado doesn't go straight down. Sometimes it can curve, and sometimes the actual touchdown can be a couple miles north, south, east, or west of where it looks like on the radar, which is why we ask everybody in that area to stay sheltered.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. So, yeah, and what he's saying is, so right here where this hook is, and right where the velocity signature is here on the radar, that's not it. But right where the velocity signature is on the radar, that may not be exactly where the tornado is. So the tornado may be a mile or two here or there on the other side of it. So this is a big polygon, and we need everybody in that polygon, this tornado emergency. We need everybody to be in their safe place and stay there. Don't come out yet. This is something you got to pay attention to and just stick with. Just stick with it. Don't come out at the wrong time, but especially there in far southeastern Williamson County.
In just a moment, to those of you in Nashville, looks like the severe thunderstorm has moved towards the Madison side of I-2465 and is moving toward Hermitage. That's warned for some pea-sized hail, maybe 1-inch hail, and strong straight line winds with lots of cloud of ground lightning strikes, but certainly nothing like we're seeing in southeast Williamson County.
Yeah, thanks, David. Tornado emergency continues for another 9 minutes. I expect that we'll have some continuation of this warning unless the thing just completely falls apart. But still seeing gate to gate here, still seeing a tornado on the ground. It appears, according to radar, right there on 431. So that's going to be Lewisburg Pike as you go down into through Murray County. So this thing is still in Murray County, guys, and it really hasn't been moving all that fast. But this tornado appears to still be on the ground, and debris appears to perhaps have spread out just a little bit, and that can mean that it's starting to come down in intensity. We're looking at TBNA here.
Yeah, I saw that the debris field isn't quite as high as it was.
Yeah, so it looks. Yeah, here's another look at the velocities here. Still appears that I would say this thing is probably still on the ground, and it might be roping out. Might be a little bit smaller than it was, but definitely winds going toward and away from the radar right there next to each other. That is a tornado signature right there. So I have full confidence that it's still on the ground there, crossing Lewisburg Pike there in Murray County. All right, latest radar scan there. It looks to me like it's weaker than it was. Let's hope that trend continues, and it looks like it perhaps may have roped out there, but tornado emergency continues there. Velocities have come down a little bit, and right as it starts to cross into Marshall County. All right, so it's going to be heading into Marshall County here in just a second on the north sides of Marshall County. But we got to also remember, guys, what these things can do is these things can cycle. And this thing could spin up another circulation over a little bit further east or a little bit to the south. Somewhere on either side of where the circulation was, we could get another circulation that comes up out of this thing and spins up another tornado. So we'll have to see if that happens.
Andrew, the other thing to remember is this is the point of where the radar beam can sometimes become messy even on a clear day.
That's right.
So because of the hills and the other stuff, this is a known spot where sometimes when it doesn't look quite like tornado, it could still be tornado. Of course, the storm doesn't obey the radar beam.
So let's go back just a little bit and see. Looked like we had a tornado sort of touchdown over here near Highway 99 in Columbia. And we're looking at correlation coefficient here, which is a measure. We look at it typically for hail and and debris, tornado debris. But you can see right here, it starts to light up. See that blue? That right there is a tornado debris signature as it crossed Highway 99. So we expect damage there. In fact, we expect a good bit of damage there, right there along Highway 99, just east of downtown Columbia on your way to the interstate, about halfway between the interstate and downtown Columbia. Tornado continued to the north of 99, almost paralleled it, kind of, sort of. As it went to the northeast, it crossed I-65, right there just north of Highway 99. And then as the tornado continued, it got wider. Okay, it got a lot wider. We see the debris sort of coming out there. And then the debris is sort of kind of blown out of it a little bit. So debris a little less concentrated than it was. But, I'm not ready to say that tornado's gone, because that still could be a tornado on the ground there. That's just impressive enough. And like David said, this is kind of a weird spot with the radar anyway. This is kind of a known spot. We sort of side-eye things, and this is one of those times. So not ready to say that this thing's lifted. This is looks like it's in northern Marshall County now, guys, and it did take that kind of right turn just in the past probably 10 or 15 minutes.
Yep. And what TBNA's got a really bad look at it too. There's just no real good way to see down there with our radar tools. But yeah, I mean, pretty clearly still coupling it up, still seeing all the algorithmic markers, NROT numbers greater than 1.5. Correlation coefficient shows a bunch of lofted junk in the air. Still looks pretty classically, making contact with the ground.
Weather Service says that a new tornado warning will be issued for this storm that's in northern Marshall County. They also see the rotational velocities continue to decrease with this. So this new warning will not be a tornado emergency. It will be, call it a base level tornado warning. But, that still means you stay in shelter, and it still means that you respect it. So that's what we're going to have issued here in a little bit. So it'll be a sort of a classic red polygon around this storm there in southeastern Williamson County, and the circulation there is in northern Marshall County right now. And watching for a new circulation to form east of where that circulation sort of weakened, guys. So right there, almost just west of Holt's Corner, south of really right on the Williamson County, Marshall County line is where I would expect a new circulation to form if one forms up. And that is, that looks like that may be happening. Yeah. There's a new tornado warning now. Well, they went with a purple one there because there was a confirmed tornado there a little bit earlier. So yeah, that'll be a purple tornado warning there. It's an observed tornado. It definitely was on the ground. We have pictures of it. And so that tornado warning is now in effect for southeastern Williamson County. So if you're from like College Grove and Bethesda, especially down to the south in Williamson County, this is really the area that is under the gun for this circulation. New circulation kind of looks like it's spinning up there.
I was just going to mention that some of the colors just got a little bit brighter in there.
Yeah, I would be suspicious if you live in Rutherford County. If you're watching us from Rutherford County, Eagleville overall, even down, or maybe even more so down toward Christiana, be watching this because this circulation, this storm has a history of producing a lot of damage. It's only a matter of time before we start getting the pictures in, and I'm wincing, getting ready to look at them as they come in here in a little bit. But I'm for sure there's going to be some damage pictures coming in. They're going to be pretty sad. And this circulation here, because this tornado already has a history of creating a tornado and appears to be a pretty strong one, this circulation right here could get going and do the same thing all over again, right through Eagleville. And in fact, In fact, I'm getting pretty suspicious of this one. And I know this is in that weird spot. I know it's in that weird spot with the radar.
Yeah.
But that right there has got to be watched, because this thing could do it all over again through Eagleville and into Rutherford County.
Andrew, I was going to suggest that I think the reflectivity is the clue here. That radar always looks like that right there on velocity.
It does.
That's a hook. That thing has produced a pretty strong tornado already. And so you need to treat this as an active, ongoing tornado warning, as if we have for sure evidence of a tornado as it goes towards Eagleville now. And it looks like it's going to go right kind of at that triple point between Murray, Marshall, and Williamson counties. It's going to cross 41 towards Eagleville. And I think that there's really no reason to think there's not a tornado in there, frankly, the way that looks to me.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's a right mover. If you're in Rover, between Eagleville and Rover, I mean, I'd be super concerned. In fact, that last scan that came in, Andrew, that looks like right before the storm passes. I mean, it's about to hit like Snaketown Road and Highway 31, just south of Holt's Corner down in Marshall County.
Yeah, and to be clear, this is 41A, which is a different highway than 41. But
yeah, sorry about that. Yeah,
31A and 41A down there southeast of College Grove and Eagleville.
Yeah, south of that famous little intersection there. But that looks like that's where the tornado is. You're probably seeing some hail up in College Grove. I think the tornado is very close to you, but will probably go south of you there in College Grove. That's all I've got on that one right now.
Let's back out just a little bit. Let's go look at other things going on. I know y'all have done a good job of watching the stuff off to the north up in Nashville. Storms, this round of storms, and again, I hate to say that, but this round of storms clearing out, at least somewhat up in Davidson County. Believe it or not, this may well not be our last round of big storms tonight. So, I want to say the storms we're going to get late tonight, probably after midnight, will be more of like a straight line wind event. We certainly can't rule out a tornado in them. This was the real tornado event that we were concerned about. But the storms late tonight, after midnight, probably will come flying down out of Kentucky, right down I-24 with lots of rain and lightning. And my main concern late tonight is flash flooding in Nashville. Yeah.
Straight up. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, yeah, this storm looks to be getting sacked together again down there around Holt's Corner. Again, this is in a weird spot. We've seen, I mean, what year was it? We had a signature that looked like this or even a lot worse. We were convinced there was a tornado in it. The radar does some weird stuff down here. We're just going to have to see how this pans out. But like David said, it's nothing to mess with. This has a history. It has a history of a large tornado. We believe, I mean, according to the pictures we saw, that tornado appeared to be rather large by Middle Tennessee standards. And it has a history of that. And so while we might side-eye this velocity signature somewhat, we don't discount it, and we need to not mess with it. So especially if you're in Eagleville, Rover, which is down there in Bedford County, Christiana overall over there in Rutherford County, this thing could be a mean machine, as it was down in Murray County a little bit ago and threatened to come into Williamson County here just a little bit ago. Seems to have missed just barely on the southeast side, but it was close.
Yeah, that thing turned right just as it was like a couple of miles away from the Wilco line and made a beeline for Holt's Corner, which it did what it did. It was terrible, but that's what it did. So if you're in anywhere in Williamson County, you're probably fine. We think the tornado is near the Marshall, Murray, Williamson County line. And it's moving towards Eagleville, towards Rover, towards Christiana, towards overall, and eventually towards like maybe the far south side of Murfreesboro.
All right. So tornado warning remains in effect till 6:45, but this thing's going to be over in Rutherford County pretty quick. So the Williamson County part of this is really just about all clear. But let's give it another few minutes. I don't want to mess with this thing. Let's give it another few minutes.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to stop and turn left and go into College Grove.
No.
So if you're in College Grove, you're probably getting a nice hailstorm right now, and the cloud to ground lightning is frequent. But as far as the tornado, so again, Spring Hill is fine. Thompson Station is fine. Page High School is fine. We think the tornado is going to be well south of 840, and is likely, hopefully, may not actually have ever even come into Williamson County. It might just be a mile or so either side of the line with Murray County. That thing is one of the things that's coming straight at you, and then it just, for the camera, it turned to the right. Turned right. And there's definitely damage down in Murray County.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, be thinking about the folks down there in Murray County. They've, especially those people that live along Highway 99, east of Columbia, between Columbia and the interstate, and then right there as you cross the interstate into eastern Murray County. Bad deal there for sure. New flood advisories coming out for both Davidson and Williamson counties. Let's see what else. Kind of sifting through the advisories and warnings here. Looks like that's about it. So flood advisories, hey, be careful. Flooding possible in Davidson and Williamson counties. More so up in northern Davidson, could really see some problems up there. But flood advisory now for parts of Williamson as well, as that heavy rain comes through. And this tornado warning down here that still has caused a mess. It has caused a mess. And we're going to be looking. Hey, Will, is Will still here? No. Okay, let me talk about reports just for a second. Reports are very important. Obviously, don't do anything dangerous. You've been in your safe place. I believe, David, we're getting awfully close to giving the all clear for Williamson County here on this storm. And as you come out, if you see damage, if you can safely do it, please send that to us using hashtag TSpotter. The folks down in Murray County, if you're happen to be watching from down there in Murray County, so sorry for what's happened down there. If you don't go out and tour damage, please don't go down to Highway 99 if you're in Murray County. Don't go down 65 to the south to see what you can see or anything like that. Please don't go out and tour damage. If you're in the area and you have experienced some of the damage, if you could let us know what has happened, that would be great, using hashtag TSpotter on Twitter, and we'll get that to the Weather Service. They're obviously getting reports in, but we would love to be able to help them out with that and let them know what has happened down there as well. So hail reports, compare to the size of a coin if you can. Let us know the hail size. If it's bigger than a coin, it was a tennis ball, golf ball, ping pong ball size, whatever you've got there. Let us know what size the hail is there in southeastern Williamson County that I'm sure has been falling around College Grove and maybe now pushing into Rutherford County, and that's very helpful. Flooding reports. Any flooding reports that you have. If you're experiencing flooding of some sort in Davidson County or even down into Williamson County, let us know about that. Same thing, hashtag TSpotter, and we'll get that to the Weather Service as well. They're making lots of decisions. There's a lot of people up there tonight, and they're making a lot of decisions as far as warnings go, between tornadoes, severe thunderstorm warning, flash flooding, river flooding, all this kind of stuff they're having to make decisions on, and your reports help that job be just a little bit easier on them, and that's what we want. David, what do you say? All clear for Williamson there.
Yeah, I think so. I will say, if you're in Williamson County and you're taking shelter in southeastern Williamson County, you're inside that polygon for the tornado emergency. The storm is still producing cloud to ground lightning, and some of them are positive strikes even after the bulk of the storm has gone by. I would think that even if you were of the mind to go out and look around, by the time it's safe to do so, meaning by the time the lightning has pulled east, it'd be dark. So there's no sense in you trying to get out there and look at anything. Also would say you let your fire department and your local police department handle it. They are trained. The last thing we need is some good intentioned amateur try to go out there and get himself or herself hurt. More importantly, it's raining so hard, and we've got more storms coming in later tonight and overnight, that flooding is going to be an issue. Don't compound the EMS people who are trying to respond to tornado victims who've lost roofs or whatever by needing to divert them to get your car towed out of a dangerous situation because you got stuck in flood water. So our local EMS and fire department people are trained to handle these situations. The last thing we need is y'all getting out there and in their business. And I can speak, I know people who woke up today and it was a normal day and now they don't have a roof over their house. The last thing they need is you driving by gawking at it with your cell phone camera hanging out the window. That is uncool. I've been looking at the HRRR model. The model thinks that we're going to have more thunderstorms, or it's called back building, which other storms kind of around after this main event, where more storms form and continue to pile on the rain. So the message, as this tornado is now, I think, east of Williamson County, and I think the tornado threat for this round is over for Nashville. There's going to be more storms coming in later tonight that are going to demand our attention. My main concern with those is flash flooding. So really don't want you driving around tonight. And then overnight, if you live in a flood-prone area, we're going to get a ton more rain tonight. And you certainly do not want to be woken up by water coming in your home. So let's take those threats and those concerns seriously, please.
Very well said. All very true. The last thing we want is anybody getting hurt and or disrupting what emergency crews are doing down there in Murray County and potentially northern Marshall County as well. David, did you say southeastern Williamson County come out of their shelters? Is that what did you say that? Did I hear that?
If I didn't say it before, I'm saying it now. The center of circulation has weakened out, but again, the velocity is tough. But it looks like the center of the storm is probably near Rover, to Eagleville, and is well to the east and moving away from Williamson County. So if you've been sheltering in your safe spot anywhere in Williamson County, it's safe to come on out of the closet or out of the basement or your tornado shelter, wherever you were. Certainly don't go outside, because I'm still getting frequent cloud to ground lightning strikes even behind the storm. But I think the tornado threat for Williamson County is over.
With this cell.
With this cell.
Yeah, we need to stay tuned. As David said, we have more storms later, it appears. All right, guys, what do you say? You want to hop off, regroup, reset?
What was that? Yes, Graham.
Yeah. Some trees down in Columbia, getting reports of that. This guy says he's got over 100 trees gone or woods completely knocked out. So,
yep, that will make a tornado debris signature in a hurry. We probably saw his trees on radar there, for sure.
Yeah, let's hope they're trees and not shingles.
That's right. Okay, well, let's do it, guys. Let's hop off and regroup and get ready for our next round. Let's all help and do what we do here and sort of help funnel through reports and get you all the best information for the next round. And we do that best when we're off of YouTube Live. So let's do that, and we'll be over on X is where we'll be, and we'll jump back on if another warning is issued for Davidson or Williamson counties, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.